Sactown Sports.
Huge, dominant, in a few ways, a throwback win for the Kings last night, 127-104 over the Phoenix Suns. How'd they do it? Let's find out. Our next guest, I was just enjoying grilled cheese sandwiches last night with our next guest in the Kings media dining room.
Don't forget the ham.
Yeah, that's right.
Didn't it have ham in it?
Well, you had your choice.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Salad as well. I think that's where I saw him in the salad line. Outstanding beat reporter, Kings beat reporter for the Bee, Jason Anderson. How are you today, Jason?
I'm doing okay, Whitey. How about you?
Good. How was your sandwich last night?
I passed on the grilled cheese sandwich. I doubled up on the salad last night. So
all right.
I can't speak to the grilled cheese.
Oh, I had yours. It was very good, very good.
Good.
First of all, Jason, I know it was a great win last night. Not to bring the room down, but what do we think we know about DeMar DeRozan's injury and his availability going forward?
Well, we don't know much at this point. It's just been described as lower back tightness. He left the game at halftime, didn't return, and is expected to be listed as doubtful for tomorrow's game, which, with a back-to-back coming up Friday and Saturday, that raises the possibility that he could miss a couple of games if it doesn't start to feel better soon.
Yeah, so I'm going to ask you to speculate a little bit here, and if you don't want to do that, I understand, but you're already without Malik. Now, DeMar could be gone for a while, maybe not, but do you think it's any more likely that the Kings bring somebody else in one way or the other?
Bring somebody else in terms of
sign somebody, or it's awfully it'd be tough to swing a deal in a short turnaround like this, or, they're going to bring somebody up for the G League, or hope Orlando Robinson's ready to go. What would be your best guess?
Yeah, I don't know that I think they probably just go with what they have for right now. It's a pretty quick turnaround to try to bring somebody in just overnight and throw them out there Friday and Saturday. But it's certainly going to be a test of their depth, which hasn't been real good, frankly, up to this point for a variety of reasons, with, some of the guys either dealing with injuries now or coming off of injuries that might have slowed them down over the summer and in training camp. So, I think they just are, their mantra right now is next man up, and everybody's got to, kind of do what they can to help the team get through this stretch. And I think that's probably what they're going to have to do.
Joined by Jason Anderson of the Sac BJ. I want to take you back a little bit in the stretch of the Toronto, Miami, Atlanta stretch. And because you're one of the few guys that travels with the team, next to this team, could you give me an insight on, I could only imagine how tired you might have been. And maybe I'm putting words or, putting your focus that maybe you're not, you're an Iron Man, but did you see any tiredness or any fatigue from the Kings within that stretch?
I don't know what you did, Jay.
I might have
there you are.
Yeah.
Oh, there you are now.
I like that question, huh? Yeah.
I don't know what you heard from me, but you guys went silent there for a minute.
We didn't hear anything. Did you hear the question?
I think I lost you again, Whitey.
Yeah. All right. What
there
do you
think?
There you
are. I can hear you now.
Okay. It's possible that, it sounds like he can hear me, Jay, but he's not able to hear you. Is that the possibility? Maybe that's, yeah. Okay. Sorry about that, Jason. Yeah, I think, we have Jay in the other room, and I think he asked you a question, and it sounds like for some reason it's not feeding to your phone. So we'll take care of that. What was working for the offense besides the obvious fact that the threes were falling?
Well, I think the answer to that is I think you got to look at why the threes were falling potentially, because that really did make that offense look a lot better. Really they've been pretty good offensively, really up to this point, with the exception of the 3-point shooting, but they've done that, with the mid-range stuff and certainly with the free throws, ranking number 1 in the league in free throw shooting. But that 3-point shooting was really tough, and they were last in the NBA going into last night's game. And they turned that around last night. It was interesting, and just kind of taking a deep dive into the 3-point struggles, in my story on the game last night that everyone can go read at sacbee.com. I noted that Fox, Herter, Murray, Lyles, Monk, Ellis, McLaughlin, and McDermott, that's 8 guys, were all shooting career lows in 3-point percentage. The only 2 really any kind of the rotation that were not at career lows were DeMar DeRozan and Domantas Sabonis.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because those are the two guys, when they acquired DeRozan, the question was, is this team going to be able to spread the floor and shoot threes well enough, because those are not volume, high percentage 3-point shooters. And they're doing it on low volume, like 2.2 and 2.3 attempts, but their shooting has been fine. For some reason, everyone else has had a hard time. And then last night, I think what we saw, and De'Aaron Fox talked about this after, that he had a conversation. De'Aaron had a conversation with Luke Laux and was encouraged to really get into the paint and drive, kick, and get those spray threes that Mike Brown likes to talk about. And De'Aaron did that. He did a fantastic job. He had 10 assists. 5 of those led to 3-point shots, 3-point goals. And that really, I think, helped to set up some really good catch and shoot shots rather than stuff that was off the dribble or coming off of screens or whatnot. So that is why I think we started to see the 3-point shooting look better last night.
Hey, Jason, you got me now?
I do.
Hey, there we go. All right. Technically. Yeah. J.A., joined by Jason Anderson, Sac Bee. Jason, what was your thoughts on J-Mac last night? Friend of the show here, of course. And one of the things I thought he brings to this team, and I thought yesterday, one of the first times we've seen it, was stability. What was your take on Jordan Mack last night?
Yeah, he looked good. He shot the ball well, 4-6 from the field. He hit a 3, knocked down his free throws. He's definitely a guy that can help, especially with DeMar and Malik out right now, because he's another guy who can handle the ball and kind of initiate the offense. And when you lose guys like Malik and DeMar, you really need some secondary playmakers and some guys who can go out and do that stuff. Mike likes the pace he plays with. He kind of went to McLaughlin in a game against the Lakers recently, because the Kings like to run the Lakers and try to push the tempo when they play the Lakers. And McLaughlin, kind of got the nod there in that game for that reason. And so, I think McLaughlin certainly can help here in the short term, along with guys like Keon. I think they're going to need as much as they can get from those guys over the next couple games.
Yeah, Jason Anderson from the Bee with us. And, you should be reading his story, sacbee.com. I was just complimenting Jason last night on the story he wrote about how Mike Brown planned to get through this stretch without Malik. But as you said, Jason, it's one of the strangest things about the 3-point shooting. The guys who've been making threes are the guys that aren't supposed to make threes. On the other hand, you have a guy, and I know last night the threes were falling, but Doug McDermott is still struggling. Doug McDermott's supposed to be automatic from 3. With Malik out, how nice would it be for Mike Brown to see Doug McDermott start knocking down a few long-range shots? It
would be great. That's why they brought him here. They wanted to add some shooting. Doug is a career for almost 41% 3-point shooter over 11 seasons in the NBA. And going into last night, he was at 27.8, and that dropped a little more because if I'm not mistaken, he went over 3. So, it's a little bit of a mystery there. I talked to Doug before the game last night, and, he kind of alluded to the idea of, and this wasn't specifically, I was asking about the team-wide struggles, and he said, you kind of get used to playing with certain guys. I think the implication, or at least what I took away from that is he's one of the guys who's getting used to, playing with new guys and getting set up in different ways. And really they're all doing that with DeMar on the floor, because DeMar changes so many things. And, they've kind of tweaked the offense a little bit. And so those shots they feel like they're getting mostly the same kind of shots they got over the past 2 seasons. But I think just the actions and some of the stuff schematically is a little bit different. And then you've got guys like Doug who are brand new to the system and the team and most of the guys around him. And so that hasn't come around yet, but it really would be helpful if he could start knocking those down too.
Jay, you're one of the few guys who travels with the squad. Any take on old Rob? There's some questions, of course, coming to the Sacramento Kings. He's kind of been a question mark throughout the league. Not a lot of tape on him.
Working out yesterday before the game.
Getting his in. Have you been able to have an opportunity to kind of get a grasp on what old Rob might bring to the Kings?
I haven't seen much of anything. I've been asking for a while. I think the update on him came a little late. I was, from the initial timeline. I think we were supposed to hear something, a week or so ago. And so I started to ask questions, about, just how he was doing and when we might hear something. They did put out an update recently saying he'd been cleared for contact and that there would be another update in the next few days. So really, I think I think it's any day now that he could be available. I'm intrigued like, I think the Kings are and like everybody is in terms of the body and the way he plays, the size, the length that he can add. And then, we'll just see what it looks like if and when he gets a chance to get out there and try to help out.
What's your dog's name?
That's Teddy.
Teddy. Nice. We'll let you go. But before we do, and I don't mean to put you on the spot, any thoughts on the new mascot, Royale? Because fans have had a lot to say about Royale today, Jason.
Yeah, I'm not going to pile on Royale. I'm gonna give him a chance. I like the design of the jerseys and the colors and the script and all of that. And I'm curious to see how they look Friday night and what the court looks like. I guess we know what the court looks like. But it's always interesting with the NBA Cup stuff. It creates a little bit different atmosphere. And people usually love the city edition uniforms. So it should be a good time.
Thank you, Jason. We appreciate it. See you tomorrow night.
All right, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Jason Anderson from the Bee. You see that, Jay? I'm not going to pile on Royale. That's classy.
Dude, I've already apologized 3 times. What else you want me to do about this cat?
Every time you apologize, you go back in.
Man, I just said, okay, look, shouts out to Royale. We'll meet on Friday and we'll be able to access each other.
Yeah.
Shouts out.
Okay.
My apologies yet again.
Well, but I understand, this is something that matters to all of us. So we have strong opinions and reactions to anything that represents our team, right? So I understand not all of the reactions are going to necessarily be positive. Right away. Carmichael Dave on
I haven't heard you repent about Royale today. You good with it?
I think it's a little scary. That's all. It's just a little bit like and my whole thing is if you get Jerry Lucas out here, I love everything.
That's right. That's right.
Cincinnati
Royals. That's right. I got you.
On X, Carmichael Dave says, someone said, and he has a picture of Royale's face. Someone says this is what it looks like to fish when we stare at them in the aquarium. So that's kind of,
did he say that or did he retweet that?
He said someone said that.
Oh, it's one of them. I heard.
Yeah.
Man, stand on the CD.
I don't know if someone said that in his house or if he just ripped off somebody's tweet. I don't know about that. So tomorrow will be a big night. We'll be coming to you from the arena. Tomorrow, Drape should be back with us tomorrow. And we got a pretty big football game coming up, Jay.
We do. Philadelphia Eagles, Drape's Eagles. I'm pretty sure if Drapes didn't have a Kings event tonight, he'd be locked and loaded for the Eagles and Washington Commanders.